Hey guys, this is RoboHunterX bringing you yet another e-video for your viewing pleasure. This one is about directional scanning, how to use it effectively, and a few scenarios you might need to use it in. Here I'll outline why you need it, how to use it exactly, and perhaps some of the defensive and offensive abilities behind the directional scanner and how to employ those effectively. Alright, so here I am right off Planet 1 at about 50. As you can see, there's a customs office as we put that there. I'm going to show you how to find structures or ships, whatever you want, using a nifty little tool. So the first way to do it is, of course, the viewpoint way, as I call it, using your ship as a type of a gun sight. Now it's really not complicated, but it took me about 2 years to figure this out. But wherever you're aiming your view, say if I'm aiming my view right through the ship, aiming at this little cluster right here, that's where the directional scanner looks. So let's go ahead and open it up. First off, I just want to reiterate ranges, so you can see the range here. Well, this is at max range, and the max scanner range is approximately about 11 to 12 AU. Okay, 14.4, sorry, I didn't see that in my notes. So I've got a table here that shows all the scanning info that I will include in the description so you can, put it in your own notes. I do use this every now and then. So like I said, the max range is 14 AU. And to get an idea of, like where 14 AU is, of course, I can reach this cluster right here with my scanners. As you can see, it's 13.6 AU away. Alright, so let me just drag this over here. So when I'm scanning, what I like to do is, well, of course, stop my ship first. Although this doesn't really matter. But I'll usually start out at about the 360 arc. And what that means is this exact 360 range all around your ship. It's just scanning all around your ship. And this is in a form of a bubble. Now if I drop this down to 180, it'll actually scan. As you can see, it already scanned. Got a few hits here. It'll scan in a 180 arc in front of your ship, wherever you're aiming. And that'll work as a bubble as well. So it's more of a half bubble that's, that you're aiming at, if that makes any sense. And it keeps working like, if you go down to 90, it'll make a 90-degree cone around your ship that you're aiming at. 60, it'll reduce it further. I like to go down to 15 because anything less than 15 you usually lose it. So as we can see, we've got a few hits here towards this cluster. We've got 4 control towers and a couple of ships. Alright guys, well I just had to do a quick cut there and double check something. It appears that even though you might have a hostile overview or a friendly overview, this does not reflect on the directional scanner. It'll simply show the ships that pop up, so you could have a friendly legion and it would still show up on a hostile overview if you have that ticked. The only thing the use active overview settings actually puts in is what you have showing on the overview. So if you don't have bubbles showing up on the overview on this one, you won't see it over here on the directional scanner. So that's just to double check that. I was, however, under the influence that it did work the way I first thought it did. As in, if you select a red only overview, you'll only see hostiles on the directional, but however, it does not work in that case, which kind of sucks. But let's get back at it. So as you can see here, I've got a couple of hits. I've actually got control towers on all of my overviews settings. I'm using the Big Brother overview, and I'll link that if you want it as well. It's pretty nifty. So as you can see, I dropped it down to 5, and I guess I'm lined up perfectly, because if I rotate this way, it'll all go away. So let me try to rotate back. This is pretty difficult to do if you're cloaked. Okay, so we've got definitely 4 control towers over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to warp to that office at 70.
Warp drive active.
We'll go ahead and jump and warp. Another little nifty thing is while you can throw it on 360 and then continuously hit the scan button, and you'll hit anything within that 14 AU range to get a better idea of what's out there exactly. Alright, so as you can see, we've got a couple more control towers. This is probably because I'm in range. Still got a mammoth. Let's try to find that mammoth lurking around here. It's at a pause somewhere. So I'm just going to reduce it to 90. Looks like I still don't have it. Okay, so there's a mammoth, I believe, in this cluster. That was the wrong button. Okay, still got him. Catch. And actually, when you adjust this range, there's no need to hit the scan button again. It automatically does it. You'll just keep spamming it, kind of like I'm doing now. Okay, so he's over in here somewhere. And just like scanning, sometimes you'll lose him. Might be here, actually, in this belt. Okay, he's definitely in this belt. As you can see, I got it down to 5. So we'll just go ahead and warp to this at 30.
Warp drive active.
Another quick tip. If I hit F11 here, you can actually see at the bottom the range that I'm using. It gives a nice little representation. Don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but as you can see, the mammoth was here. I don't know what he's doing. He's a test guy, so he's probably just wanting to die. That's usually what they're good for. Whatever. Okay, so like I was saying, he's a salvager. It's probably a bot. As I was saying, you can see down here there's a little green area within this, and this is showing your scan kind of arc. And as you can see, as I move around, it'll show it, and this gives you a little bit of a representation of where you're aiming exactly. And as you move it, it'll show it a little better. I wish you could expand this map. That would be always. But alas. And for some reason I opened this. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, this is one of the offensive methods of finding something in a belt. I took my time on that. I could have gone a lot faster, but this was to explain it. So let's move on to the next method. Alrighty. Here's the second way to find a target, and this was primarily done in the map. However, it's kind of a hybrid between map and viewpoint. So this is just like the other method, except you're doing it through the map. So imagine you have a gun. Well, for this gun, your two reticules, your back sight and your front sight, are pretty much what you're going to use here. Your back sight being you, where you're at. So PXF RF5 is my back sight here. Whatever you want to aim at, you're going to have to use your front sight. So if I wanted to aim at this, what I do is put these two together, just like a gun, and line it up. Now, what I'll do is I'll open up the directional, and I'll go down to 5 degrees. And as you can see, there's a control tower there. However, if you're off just a little bit, it will apparently not vanish. There it goes. So as you can see, this is a little circle around here that you can usually get in. So something you have to be careful about is not selecting another target, because as you can see, even if I select this and try to aim these two together, it doesn't work. What you want to do is you want to select the target that you're trying to scan at, and then line it up. And this helps you keep track of what you're actually looking at. So let me zoom in a little here. It's a little difficult to get it lined up. Zooming out helps quite a bit. And as you can see, I get the tower again. But if I were to click this one, and then try to aim me with this other planet up, this other moon, sorry, and as you can see, it doesn't work. Now, what we're going to try to do is find a jump bridge. So I'm going to open up my overview settings, and I'm going to make sure I have it set correctly. Okay, this is actually a logistics overview, but it'll work for what we're doing. So I'm just going to do a general scan of this entire system. Okay, so there is a jump bridge within this 14 AU kind of cluster. Now, it couldn't be over here, because this is about 18 to 19 AU away, and this is the only thing, so I don't have to worry about dictating my range with the range here, or changing any of that. Alright, so let's try to get a general direction of where it's at. I'll start out by going to 180. I know it's probably going to be in this area over here. Okay, as you can see it's there. I'll just go ahead and pan around here. Still there. As you can see, I lose it. So it's definitely in this arc around in here. So I'm going to go ahead and start reducing it even more. I'm going to go down to about 60. Okay, still see it. Okay, so I lose it there. It's not any of these. It's probably not this, although it could be. Let's aim around here. Nothing. Okay, so it's in this cluster somewhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop down to 30. Drop down to 15. Still there. Then I'll drop down to 5. Which, of course, it is still there. So it's in this cluster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go ahead and pop over here. Oop. Pop over here and warp to this at 70 just to get a better
Warp
angle.
drive active.
So I'm going to want to scan this first to make sure it's not there. So as soon as I land, and unfortunately this is the most I can zoom in. As soon as I land, I'm going to line these two up, hit scan, nothing. So it's definitely not there. I'm going to work on this one. Zoom in, scan, once again nothing. So I'm just going to work my way through these. Okay, so it's not any of these. And do remember, this does work in a line. So if you draw an imaginary line through here, that means it's not at any of these. Not that it could be because there's no planets. So let's start working on this little group here. Okay, I've got a hit. I'm going to work on this far right one. And I lose the hit. So it's either one of these two because this can be overlapped as well. So I'm going to hit scan. Okay, so I see the jump bridge. I'm going to move it a little. Still there. Move it a little more. Okay, so it's gone. I'm going to just pop back over to this one again. Okay. I'm going to aim towards... Okay, so I don't see it. I'm going to aim directly on. So as you can see, it's probably here. If you wanted to double check, you could work to this planet or this moon and then do another scan because you can once again dictate a little closer. But I'm just going to drop out of this view real quick. Apparently not. There we go. So it's one of these two over here, and it's kind of hard to zoom in. This is why I'm sticking with the map view, but if I got closer, that's what I would switch to. So I'm pretty sure it's this. I'm just going to work this at 70.
Warp drive active.
As long as you have a little bit of time, you can afford to jack around, kind of like what I'm doing. Just double check everything, maybe warp to another planet to get another angle. And as you can see, there is the jump bridge right there with the Tengu. So there you have it. That's how you find it using the map. This is a little trickier as you can generally screw up a little more often, but it is very effective. One thing you have to remember is, of course, keep centered around yourself or the target that you're trying to scan and line them up just like a gun sight. Another thing is try not to right click because this will throw your view off and you might think that you've got it lined up but you actually don't. Just make sure you got yourself centered. Oh, and one last thing about the ranges. To make sure that it's in a cluster you're at, you want to get the range. So this isn't even an AU big. So you want to reduce that to whatever kilometers it is for 1 AU. Then you just do a general scan, and if it's there, you'll see it. If it's not, you go to the next closest cluster, and then work your way through there. So let's move on to the hybrid between directional and probe scanning, the one that I like to call the most accurate and fastest. However, it is the most dangerous due to the fact that other people can see your probes and bugger off. So let me just cut to that.
Warp drive active.
Alright guys, so I have one last method to use, and this is the hybrid between using directional and scanner probes as well. If you really want to be safe, I would suggest going out to the farthest celestial you can get to, and then dropping your probes, and then moving your probes far off grid. So I'd probably, fly out here to this farthest planet, and then drop the probes, and then move them completely off grid, just to make sure that no one sees your probes simply sitting there, and so you can have them preloaded. But I'm just going to pop out here and drop some probes just to get set up. I'm only going to drop about 4. So there's 4. You want to make sure once you get them to immediately move them off grid as fast as of course being slow here just to show. So you hold shift, zoom all the way out, then hit scan to move them. They'll do their thing over there. Alright, so depending on the target you want to find, I want to find a moon array again, the jump portal. You want to make sure you got your scan filter set up correctly. So I'm just going to call this, I don't know, jump. And I'm going to go down here and make sure I have it selected. It's going to be a jump portal array. And I'm going to try to find, I'm going to put tower on here as well. Hit save, got it set up. Now, make sure you're using combat probe scanners, or you probably won't find it. So, I know definitely from last time that this POS is in this cluster. Of course, my memory sucks, so I don't know which one it is. But I know it's in this general direction. So, I can do the pounce pretty easily here. And I kind of failed with dragging those off grid. I drug them the wrong way, but whatever. So what you want to do is you want to reduce this to the smallest range possible, because you're going to find anything in here once you know it's in this cluster. Then take your probes. Oh, let me get my rotation fixed. I hate it when it does that. This is the problem with working with 3 different directions. And move them in here, spread them out a little. Spread them out even more. Make sure minimum range. And then once you're ready, you hit analyze, of course. And here's where you gotta be quick. Okay, I didn't fail. I did drag them off grid. Now, depending on your skills, you should get a 100% hit here, and this is when you want to recover your active probes as fast as possible. As you can see here, it's been about 20 seconds. So that's about 20 seconds that someone could scan. So if they're on the ball, they will find it, but if they're not, they're, jacking around, they won't find it. And this is pretty much the easiest method I've ever found to do it. It's the quickest as well. But this is, for finding a static target. Moving targets, a little more difficult, but it is possible. Say if someone's sitting in a safe spot, uncloaked, waiting to jump out of a system because it's red. So as you can see, I've got the hit here of the jump bridge, and that's how you find it using probes in the direction. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like it, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. It just shows me support, makes sure that I'm, I know what I'm talking about. stuff like that. Gives me a little more interest in making videos, because lately I haven't really made any. So once again, my name is RoboHunterX, and this has been a directional / probe kind of video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, and goodbye.